Hey guys, come on in. I'm Julie with Nothing is Wasted Designs, and I'm a couple minutes early. I am in an event with Lolly's Crafting Friends VIP, and the theme for today. Let me put this in my pocket, y'all. The theme for today is timeless treasures. And if you didn't want to do timeless treasures, let me put that off to the side. If you didn't want to do timeless treasures, you have the option to do crafter's choice. I like to stretch myself, so I thought I'm going to go with the theme. One of the things I like about doing events, besides working alongside other talented crafters, is that, all right, let me see here just a minute, y'all. Let me bring myself up while I'm doing this and make sure that, let's see where I am, and see if they're going to share me into the page. I could probably do this group. Let's see here. I will check this out. And that would be, hang on. L-O-L-L-I-E apostrophe S. G-R-I-E-N-N-D-S. 4 o'clock. Come on in. Good to see y'all. Come on in. Let me see. VIP. Why is this no groups match your search? Why is that? Oh, I see. It's live. Write a comment. Oh, because I'm under my name and not my actual. All right, hang on. Nothing is Wasted Designs. We're going to switch over to that. Hi, am I in? Am I in the group, y'all? Where did I go? I'm trying to find myself. All right, L-O-L-L-I-E-S. Crafting. Is it crafting or crafty? Crafting Friends VIP. There we go. All right, there I am. All right, I didn't know if I needed to share or someone was going to get me in. Thank you to whoever got me into the group. So those of you watching are in an event with Lolly's Crafting Friends VIP. And okay, thank you. Thank you, Stacy. Hey, Donna, come on in. Hey, Angie. I don't know how to pronounce your first name. Let me see. Hold on just a minute. I'm pretty excited, y'all, about doing this event. One of the things I like about doing events is that they stretch me. They take me out of what I would normally do. And hey, Julie. You know, every time I see your name, I think about when I was in the second grade. And I thought my mother had made my name up. There were lots of Karens, lots of Kathys, lots of Debbies in my second grade class, but there was only one Julie. And so because of that, I thought that my mother had made the name up, and I asked her, did you make my name up? Because there aren't any other Julies. And it seems like we're in a season now. I don't know if you're finding this or not, Julie, but this is a season where I'm in a circle with lots of Julies, and that is like so foreign to me because I used to be the only Julie, and now there are several of them. So anyway, I'm Julie Belcher, and the craft that I'm going to do today, I don't know, the very first craft I did in Lolly's event was, and I haven't finished it yet because it's like going to take hours to finish, y'all. But for those of you that were there for the first event that I participated in with y'all, I was making a crafting wreath with a lot of sewing supplies that I had gotten from my grandmother. And this was, oh gosh, let me think, over 20 years ago. And so I have lots of stuff from her. I think there were like 12 boxes of crafting and sewing and arts and crafts, and not so much painting, but mostly crafting and quilting and fabric. And I mean, it was crazy the amount of stuff that I got, and I was the only one who would use it. So I mean, I'm talking like 12 UPS boxes that were sent to the house from Wisconsin to Virginia. And hey Tish, come on in y'all. Anyway, yeah, so I've had like a lot of this stuff still here. And so when we had the opportunity to do the spindles and spools, I thought, well, I'm going to take these wooden spools and make a wreath out of it. Well, it's still not made, but tonight I'm hoping this is going to go a little bit better. I have a friend who gave me a piece of velvet about, I don't know, maybe about 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, a piece of red velvet. So I'm going to be working with a piece of red velvet. And then I have all these buttons that I got from my grandmother. And I really haven't done much of anything with them. And so I've been trying to figure out, because I don't typically do, I love antiques. We have antiques in our house. I love going and looking at antiques. But for whatever reason, I'm just usually a really bright, bold, you wouldn't know it by my shirt. I wore my shirt today, literally freezing for the weather today. Anyway, so I thought, well, I'll go ahead and do a project with buttons. So that's what I'm going to do. I have lots of buttons from my grandmother that have just been sitting. And this year, the word God gave me for the year is create. And I'm trying to cut back on my spending and start to use my stash. So this year, my plan is to kind of shop from my stash, get rid of some of the things that I've had that are still hanging around, and we're going to go from there. So that's when I saw the theme of timeless treasures, I thought, well, this is perfect. I'm going to do something else. I didn't make it with, I'm going to finish the wreath with the spools, but I'm going to start just literally just using my stash, y'all. All right, so I'm just taking, I guess, is it called Aleene's glue, and I have cut a square of this. I don't know if it's real, I don't know if it's actually real velvet or not, y'all, but it's close enough. And so what I did is I cut a heart out, and I'm going to take, hey Molly, come on in. Good to see you. Hey Shirley, welcome. Anyway, I'm going to try and get the wrinkles out of this. I got the top up there, and then we're going to just make sure we get all of the wrinkles out of here. And then I'm going to come on down here. And I figured that this is probably the best glue for this, because I know this stuff is good for a lot of different things. If y'all are not familiar with my page or my page name is Nothing is Wasted Designs. It comes from the book of John, chapter 6, verse 12, when Jesus was feeding the 5,000. And he told the disciples to pick everything up so that nothing was wasted. And that goes along with one of my favorite verses in Scripture, which says that all things work together for good for those who love God and are called according to his purpose. So when I started my crafting journey it started with, well, I mean, I've crafted and sewn. I learned how to sew when I was in the 8th grade. I was 13 then. I'm 66 now, so that was a long time ago. And anyway, I'm just going to kind of pull this down. But I was online and I saw someone who was working with Chalk Couture, and to make a long story short, I signed up as a designer with them. And that was the beginning of a journey of just really learning and diving into the crafting world on a whole new level. Always made like Christmas presents for people and loved decorating my packages at Christmas, or, you know, whatever. Made my own bows, and, you know, but I'm crafting on a whole new level. I'm learning to paint. God is bringing the right people across my path at the right time. And so I just keep growing and growing and growing and learning more. I love to learn. I was a former public school teacher. I taught math for a little over 8 years in the public schools. And then God called me to be a stay-at-home mom. And after I was a stay-at-home mom, we had 2 children, and by then our firstborn was ready for school, and God called me to be a stay-at-home mom. So I have done quite a few different things, and, you know, and God just keeps adding to where he takes me and what he wants me to do. And so this was his idea, that I have a crafting page, and so I say all of that to say that that's where my name came from. When I asked him when I asked God what he wanted me to name my page, he gave me the verse John 6:12, and I looked up. I was going to name it Nothing is Wasted, but there was somebody on Facebook that is Nothing is Wasted, and so that's why the designs is tacked on to the end of my name, because it's to distinguish from there's somebody else, and I think it's a ministry that that has that name. So here I am, Nothing is Wasted Designs, and just kind of going wherever God takes me. And all right, we're gonna kind of get some of that glue off the side there. It's not going to really matter, because we're going to put, I'll show you what we're going to do here in just a minute. I have never done a button project like this. I love to stretch myself and try new things. Hey, Nancy, come on in, y'all. Hey, Joyce. Joyce is up next with Creations by J&J. So when y'all are finished watching me, if you will be sure and watch Joyce. I sew, like I said, I started sewing when I was 13. I made clothes. I made some clothes for my son. Followed a pattern. I did not create my own patterns. Excuse me. But anyway, yeah. All right, so this is what we have. We're going to take this red velvet, and isn't that pretty? So my mom and dad, they went home to be with the Lord 12 years ago, and they went home 11 days apart from each other. And all right, so let me show you what we're going to do here. And they had really good friends who kind of became like my parents. When my parents went, they were good friends with my mom and dad. All right, so I'm going to put this heart on here, but I'm not going to, I just cut out a piece of paper. I mean, y'all know the deal. Most of y'all are so much more experienced than I am. But take a piece of paper, draw a heart, cut it out. You have a symmetrical heart. And so I'm going to take and put this on here. And this is going to be, it's going to be kind of fun, y'all. I'm kind of excited about doing this, I will have to say. All right, so I'm going to put, I like this side better. And I don't know about you, but when I tend to look at something, I look up at the top more than I look down at the bottom. The bottom kind of gets hidden by the direction. So I'm going to put my prettier side up at the top. And then the sides are pretty good. This piece here is kind of wonky, but it's not going to matter because we're going to cover it. All right, so I have this tool since I sew, and it's a chalk tool. If any of you sew and don't have one of these, it's a clover liner, and it has, I don't know if you can see, it has like a little wheel in here. And I'm using chalk because I want something that I can erase with. So let me just double check this on a piece of the scrap that I'm using, or that I cut it from. So anyway, Mrs. Berger gave me, all right, I think we're going to be good with that. She gave me this piece of velvet because I had a crafting page. And all right, y'all, I just want to make sure that this is even. And I'm going to come in here. Oh boy, don't move on me. And there's like a little wheel in here that puts chalk on here. And this is good for like when you're working with like dark fabrics and everything. All right, it shifted a little bit, but that's okay because we're going to put buttons on here. It's not going to be exact anyway. It would be nice to have. All right, here we go. I think up is easier to go on this side, and we'll come down this way. All right, and then I'll show you what I have. Okay, so this is what we have. All I did was just take some white chalk and put some white chalk on this, and I don't need that anymore. We'll take this, and I'm gonna put it in my drawer so I don't lose it, y'all. All right, so now this is where the fun begins. I have sorted out buttons, and I also have some, all right, so I've got white buttons, I have black buttons, I have gold buttons. Where did my other black, oh, here they are, right here in front of me. And I have gold buttons. And so we are going to take, and then I also have some Totally Dazzled. So let me grab the Totally Dazzled. Did y'all hear the news about Totally Dazzled and it being, somebody bought Natalie's company? And, okay, we're going to fill all of this in, and I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this, but this is what's going to happen. I don't know if I want to go with bigger pieces on here. We're going to do a combination. I think these are going to be way too big. All right, those are going to be way too big. All right, so let's go in here with some buttons. And I have a glue gun. I have, now, like I said, I have never done this before. So we're just going to see how this is going to shake out. I'm going to start. Now, some of these have in here, this is $1.15. This was an expensive set of buttons for her. My grandmother worked in a clothing store. I like the gold. I may hold off on the Totally Dazzled because I want to get my grandmother's stuff in here first. These buttons are from 1975. They were 29 cents for, let's see, what are there? 3, 4, 6, 7 buttons. So I'm going to mix and match gold, black, white, and I may put some red on here too. And I'm going to kind of get a layout of what I think I want, and then we'll kind of start gluing them on here. But I went through her buttons and I actually organized them. I pulled out gold, black, and, all right, that doesn't want to come out of there. And she's got quite a variety of different kinds of buttons. So we're going to get these on here. And I'm going to hang on to those papers. I don't know what I might do something with those. Since I have so few of the gold, we'll get these out of here. I don't think that's one of hers. It doesn't look like her. All right, here's some gold. I don't know about that one. These are kind of neat. This has got like a little emblem on it. Let me see if I can show it to y'all. Kind of like a mother of pearl. I don't know if y'all can see a mother of pearl and some gold. And I'm going to have to take and cut the backs, the shanks off of some of these so that they'll lay flat. All right, so here we have some gold. Here's some big golds. Now, my grandmother, I intentionally didn't take these apart so I could show y'all. I'm not sure what year she was born, maybe 20s, I think in the 20s. And you see how she tied them together with string? I thought that was pretty cool. So let me get my scissors and we'll cut these apart. I may end up using the, all right. I'm gonna just start placing these in places, and then we will come back and cut the shanks off. I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna play with this and see where it takes me. I think I want a gold one right here, there. Or I may switch that up and put some Totally Dazzled in here. Have any of y'all ever worked with buttons like this before? I have not. All right. Oh, that might be too much gold. All right, let's take this one out and this one out. And bring in a variety of different ones in here. I thought this would be a great way to, you know, have something on my shelf in my craft room that belonged to my grandmother. I asked her one time, I said, you know, how old were you when you started sewing? And her response was that she never remembered not sewing. She was that young. And she taught me about strip quilting, and I made one square and never got any farther than that. And then after my mom and dad died, I got some inheritance money, and I ended up buying a machine embroidery, sewing machine and embroidery machine. It was a combination of both. All right, I'm gonna kind of set those out, and then we're gonna put these in here. I'm going to put the gold off to the side, and then I'm going to add a few black buttons in here. And you can see she tied all, she kind of like sewed all of her buttons together. It's pretty cool. I've never seen anybody do it other than her. And, you know, it was probably a very common thing for people back at that time because, you know, money was sparse. And all right, we're going to come over here. We want to cover up the... All right, I'm open for pointers. Anybody who's done this before, feel free to jump in and say, hey, you might want to try and do this. All right, let's get some white on here because we don't want too many dark colors. And see what we have. You can see how the buttons are sewn on the back of the cards. I actually remember that. Does anybody remember this? The cards being, I mean the buttons being sewn onto. All right. I'm looking for some larger white buttons if I have any. I'm not sure if these are my grandmother's. They may have been something that I bought. These are $1.10. And they're stapled onto the back. All right, here's a big white button. Stick that one. I like that one there. And I'm thinking put the bigger buttons on the bottom. And Okay, this one is, that one's got like a chip in it, but I like it. So let's put, and of course I'm going to have to come and cut all of these shanks off, so let me see what we have. Now, when we get towards the end, what I want to do is I'm going to put some black and white check. I thought about painting it. I thought about putting the black and white check around the edge of that. I'm not quite sure how far we're going to get with this, but we will see. I'm going to start with the bigger white buttons. I don't have a whole lot of big ones. Most of them are kind of small. And we'll cut these apart. Again, here's another set that she sewed together. And like I said, this has been sitting in my craft stash for 20 years now. Gosh, this is crazy to think that. Because it's more than that. It's like 26 years, because our son is 30 and he was 4 at the time. So, all right. That one's silver. I don't want the silver in there. All right. Pretty cool, huh? How she sews these together. All right, this is pretty. We'll stick the big ones on the bottom. And then we'll work our way up. You can see there's more that are sewn together, kind of tied off. So this is the year of the stash, y'all. That is what I am going to be doing, is working through my stash. And I'm just kind of, whatever I feel like, oh, these are heavy. I don't know what these are. These must be real mother of pearl. All right, and again, she's got them all tied together. Isn't that cool? It's kind of like a history lesson too, isn't it? All right, going to cut those apart. Now, I'm sure that she was a very well-dressed woman, so she probably had clothes that, y'all, these are gorgeous. Oh, let's see, they're like mother of pearl. Oh, the camera's not picking it up. They, all right. These may need to go on top. And the reason why is because this has got like a stainless steel shank on these. Let's see if you can see that. I don't think I want to cut that off. But I could lay that on a layer up top. So I think I'm going to hold on to these. I'm going to put them in... I got like a little bag. I'll set these right here. I think I want to put those on top because they are really, really pretty. All right, so then we have some brown ones in here. I'm not sure if I'm going to add those. Oh, and then this one needs to be on top also. Check these out. These have got like kind of like a gold and a rhinestone in them. See the rhinestones? And it's got like a pattern of like a leaf on here. I think that's a top one also. All right, and then we've got some more that are tied together. So we will snip that off. So I don't know what she was thinking, but my guess is this, is that if she had any buttons, she wanted to make sure that they stayed together, because like there's only 2 here. All right, and that one's got a piece of metal through it, which tells me that it came off of a, hey Patricia, come on in. All right, so we are going to go in here, and it's going to be fun to see how this turns out, y'all. All right, we'll come in there. All right, we'll get some black in here also. See if there's any more big buttons or bigger buttons. All right, let's see what we got in the black bag. And if we have to, we can scoot some things around and start Adding some Totally Dazzled. Okay, so we've got these. These are like, look like, almost like little hats. So we'll put these in here. And we'll clip these off. Every one of her sets of buttons are sewn together with like a really, really heavy duty thread. All right, so we're going to put one in here. And we'll get a black one in here. And just kind of taking it as it comes, y'all. No real rhyme or reason, just whatever feels right. And I may have to scrunch these together. I want the whole heart to be covered. All right, let me see. I'm going to need a pair of these things to start cutting some shanks off. Oh, that one's not going to go down. All right, that may have to sit on top then. All right, so here we go. Just going through. There's more that are tied together. They weren't going to, definitely weren't going to be separate. They were going to stay together as a set the way she's done it. She was pretty organized too, so... all right, let's see here. Let's see if this is going to come off. Oh, that one's not going to come off of there. So that's going to have to be a top button. I'm not going to be able, I'm going to have to put that on top of something because there's nothing I can cut off of that. All right, what about these? These are the same way. All right, well, it looks like the gold is going to be on top. I should have checked that before I did it. All right, let's see this one. All right, this one has a shank that we can cut off. See what we get with this. All right, that one came off pretty easy. And it's a little one, so... All right, I don't want a whole lot of black. I want more white. So let's go in here with the small white ones. And I also have, if I don't end up having enough buttons... All right, we're going to pull these off of here. 29 cents. La Elegante, 29 cents. And then these have the, all right, let's see if I can get this off of here. Yep, that's going to come off. All right. Just want to make sure I don't break the button. Cut these off of here. So they'll lay flat. Hey, Lisa, how are you? Come on in. I am working with my grandmother's buttons that I inherited. I want to remind y'all that Joyce with Creations by J&J is going to be up after me, so you will want to stay tuned. All right, let me see here. How do I want to do this? I'm going to end up rearranging several times, I'm sure. But I've got to get the shanks off of these to use them, so I'm going to just start clipping it off. That one's good. All right, what about these guys? Let's see what this does. That one's going, nope. That one's not going anywhere. Oh, there it goes. All right, that one is... So some of these smaller buttons can probably go up top also. All right, let's see. There it goes. That was a tough one. So we got like the little button ones, and did I get this one? I got that one. I may not even need any of the Totally Dazzled, y'all. I may have enough here that with the gold and just my grandmother's buttons that I'll be fine. Ugh. That's a tough one. All right. Get some more white in here. We got to start, this has got to start filling in a little bit better. I'm going to put some, I need, you know what I need? I need a pair of tweezers. Oh, no I don't. I need this little guy here. Where is it? There it is. This is what I need to pry this off of here. I got that piece of metal where that's stuck to the card. And we'll get those off of there. I want to get a little bit of variation in shading and colors and everything. Go. We don't want it to all be the same. Yeah, this is the right tool for this job. There's a lot of mother of pearl in here, so this is pretty. All right, here we go. I'm going to grab this underneath here. I really had no way of knowing what I was going to use and what I wasn't going to use. How are we doing on time? 5:34. Okay, we're good. All right, let's grab some black in here. Get some more black. Oh, these are pretty. Oh, look at this. Can y'all see the what's that called? It's like a pin. These are fancy. I can get this off of here. Comes. Let me show you this little pin. Gosh, if nothing else, y'all will see the see this. What's this called? Anybody know what that's called? It's like a like a little pin that you stick through it. All right, here we go. No, that's not gonna. Wow. Okay, so I think I want to do, I'm going to start putting the white buttons, I'm going to put the white buttons on the bottom, because otherwise the black buttons are not going to show up very well. Just kind of doing this as I go along. And the little ones will go bigger to little. Get the big ones on the bottom. Put the big rocks in first, right? I think this is going to be pretty. All right, these little buttons are going to have to go kind of like on the outside, I mean on the top. Now this one is a different kind of plastic. The other plastic that I was cutting was pretty much like a really, really fragile plastic. Back in the day, remember how fragile the plastic was, how it cracked real bad and everything. All right, I need more white buttons. I like this one. These are pretty. Like this one right here, when I snip this, it's like almost shatters. Well, that one shattered. was going to say it almost shatters like glass. All right, well, that one's, well, let's keep a half of one and see if we need it for anything, right? No, that's too big. I need bigger buttons, y'all. I need some bigger buttons. Those are round. I got some red ones, but those are, all right, I'm going to have to go in here, and it looks like I'm going to have to get, this is a different stash, so these aren't going to be all my grandmother's buttons, but I need to get some bigger ones on the bottom here. Just kind of filling it in, and I'll get that shank off of there in a minute. And we'll put that one over there. Here's some bigger ones. I want these on the bottom, and then we'll start layering them. I'm not sure I want that one up top. Now, you know, it'd be really neat if I had it, but I don't, is if I had any of her jewelry. That would be pretty in here, wouldn't it? All right, I don't want that one. All right, here's some more big ones. I'm gonna go ahead and do that one. Maybe put this one up at the top. I like that one at the top. I'm wondering, I'm second guessing if I really want to fill it in or if I just want to have a variety of buttons on here. I'm not sure I like those. This is where I'm starting to get picky. I'm not sure I like this. I might like just the white with just a few black ones in here and the gold interspersed. All right, let me put these back and go back to the few that I have from my grandmother. And I'm gonna, just for kicks, see if this will, oh, it will. Okay, that's going to come off of there pretty easily, y'all. These are gorgeous. All right, let's get, don't know if there's any way to kind of push this down in here without ruining the button. Got a different kind of bottom on it. I want to like get a pair of pliers and press that down in there. All right, let's get these off of here because now that I know it's gonna come off, I'm gonna cut them off. Because I really like that mother of pearl. And I'll be able to lay these flat up against it. I may only have to do one layer. And then add something to it. I'm going to glue them on, Molly, yes. But right now what I'm doing is I'm just kind of getting an idea of where I want to place them. And then I'll come back. I've got a glue gun, and then I have some B7000 over here also. But for now, it's just shooting all over the house. For now, what I want to do is just kind of get an idea of how I want to, what I want to do with these. All right, these are coming off of here pretty easily. A lot easier than I thought they were going to come off of here. All right, we got another few more of these. These are my favorite, I think. The mother of pearl. And then I want to get these in here too. This is that hard plastic. I have to be careful that I don't. I'm not sure if it's gonna. It may crack the button, but we'll see. Oh, nope. I mean, it's just like falling apart. All right, let's see. We've got a couple more of these. These are my favorite. All right, let's get one of these up here. And we'll throw some gold in there. That just crumbled. Okay. All right. So yeah, so I, you know, when I was thinking timeless treasure, I thought, what am I going to do with that? Because I don't do anything like that. And then, you know, I remembered that I had all these buttons from my grandmother, and I thought, you know what? They've been sitting long enough. It's time for them to have their debut. Okay, these aren't really, unless I put them on there on top, they're not sitting. They're not happy. All right, so let's go in here and let's grab some more of these white buttons. Here's another string. Isn't that the funniest thing you ever saw? See how she just strung them all through a needle and then tied them off. And it's double threaded. It's 2 threads. It's not 1 thread. It's double threaded. All right, there's a bunch of little guys. So let's go ahead and I'm going to have tweezers to pick these up. Just kind of fill them in. Oh, that one's got some thread on it, so I'll have to come back with that. That one looks like it needs to be turned over. All right, I think I am far enough along that I could probably start doing some gluing, y'all. So let's get some gluing going. And it's going to be just a matter of I'll pick the big ones up first and start gluing them. And I think I'm going to do a combination of, oh, I like these little ones. I need something big over here, and I'm not quite sure what it is yet. So what do y'all think so far? Yes, no, have a suggestion? Go for the suggestions. I'm all about suggestions. All right, maybe I'll put some little ones along. I want to kind of stagger them so that they don't look like they're all lined up like soldiers. All right, let's take this one off. Bring this over there. And bring this guy over here. All right, we're getting closer. Maybe we'll put the gold one right there. And we're going to push this one. I'm out of those little white buttons that I like. So we're going to take and I'm liking it. What are y'all thinking? I do like having this layered like that though too, so I'm not quite sure how that's going to shake out. How we doing on time? 48. All right, let's start putting some glue on here. These aren't as pretty as some of the other black ones. This one here is really pretty. So it's kind of like a top button. All right, let me get, I've got a glue gun and, which is melting my bag. I found another one of these buttons. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use all of these that I can use because I think this is the prettiest button in here. It really has a nice shine to it. All right, this guy needs to go in the middle somewhere. Maybe down over here. And this one will go there. All right. I don't think the glue gun is going to be enough to hold it. So I'm going to do a combination of B7000 and, all right, so here we go, y'all. I'll put some B7000 near the shank part because that's going to be the part that probably, I don't think that the hot glue is going to do a whole lot. And we're going to just start gluing them on here and see what happens. I'm going to do the big ones first, and then I'll come back and put the little ones in as fillers. Just kind of do the glue gun. To give it an immediate hold, and then these will have, I can see that I'm going to end up with some time afterwards playing with this because I don't think I'm going to get it all done at one time today on this in this hour. All right, and again, I'm just taking and putting the B7000 and then a little bit, a dot here. And I am really excited about getting these out of these boxes, y'all. I am so excited. It's just gonna, you know, we don't ever really gain any space unless it actually leaves the house, but you know, it's just gonna kind of shift. This will be like a shelf setter. Ouch. That was hot. Ouch, 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 ouch. Okay. And I'm just pretty much doing the bigger ones, and then I'll fill in with the little ones as I go along. Just a dab of hot glue. And I'm going to kind of leave a space there. I'm not quite sure why I'm doing that. I just feel like I'm supposed to do that, so that's what I'm going to do. And this B7000 will stick pretty good to both the buttons and the fabric. I've had this velvet for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, something like that. And it's like, what am I going to do with this? Because it wasn't a large piece, but yet I wanted to do something that honored my parents' friend and my friend. And this is like such a perfect combination. All right, here we go. Right down here at the bottom. Okay. How we doing? I got 8 minutes. I'm going to tell y'all right now, I'm not going to finish, but I'm going to show you again what I'm going to do on the sides. I'm going to take, I don't think I want the black think I want to line the outside in white. I think that's what I want. I can put some black over top of it, like a speck here and a speck there, because the black buttons are going to go, they're going to match the checkered edge that I've got going. Okay. So any of you have any kind of sewing crafts or anything from a friend or a relative that you could make something like this with? That would be fun, huh? Oh, yeah. Okay, so I left a little bit of space there, and I think that's why. So we can, okay, this is going to be good. This is going to work, y'all. Okay, so I like that space. That gives me enough to have like a lip to put something on top of it. All right, so that's what we're going to do the rest of the way, is leave just a little bit of space. And then we'll start stacking them. All right. Let's put, I think we'll put that one on here. I can see where this would be. This is the kind of project that you get together with one of your good friends, and they bring their heirlooms over and or jewelry. This would be pretty with jewelry too, y'all. Hey Sherry. All right, so let me show you the paper, because I'm not going to get this finished, but I do want y'all to see what I'm going to have. Is I'm going to have the checks. I wrestled with, did I want to paint it or did I want to do the paper? And I'm thinking I want to do the paper. And then I'm going to also wrap this. I got to be careful because I don't want this to shift. All right, so I'm also going to wrap this on the side. So I'm going to put the checks on the top and also around the side. Just shift them on me. And then what I'll do is I will keep going, and I'm going to have some. I'll probably put the like the gold buttons up on the top, kind of dispersed in there, and I'm going to just keep going on around, y'all, until, boy, that button is like crooked. I don't know if y'all can see how crooked it is. I'm going to use it anyway. I'll just put this in the middle. And we'll put a dab of glue here. So this is, I've been kind of quiet, because I'm thinking about where I want to put what and how I want to do it. All right, here we go. After I get off, I'm going to get something to eat. I usually only eat about one meal a day. Oh. Caught it. And I haven't eaten yet, so I'm ready to eat. Oh, no. Now, we're going to have paper on top of that, so it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. And then we're going to see, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Y'all, this is going to be awesome. All right, here we go. We're going to get another piece on here. I have 3 minutes. I'm going to just keep gluing these down until I get to the end, until I get the way I want them, and then I will post a picture in the group. I will post a picture on my page. I will post a picture in the chat, so that when I get this done, y'all can see what it looks like. I've been wanting to do something like this for several years, because I've seen other people make these kinds of, you know, boxes and stuff. And today is the day. There's the right time for everything, right? All right, so if I had to teach you anything, because I'm a teacher, I like to teach people, I would say, ooh, I didn't leave enough room in this along the sides. Ooh, that was close. Because I want to get some rhinestone trim along there. When you put your base down, and like I said, I didn't see anybody give me any suggestions, but I'm going to give one to y'all. You see how I have the spaces between the bigger buttons? That's going to give me room to lay the other buttons on top of them. So you want to put a little bit of space in between your buttons, and then you'll be able to, because like this button here can, well, let me see, that one I mangled. This button right here, you see the bottom of that? It has that, see how it's raised? It's not going to lay flat, but it will lay between two buttons. So, so if anybody decides to do something like this, make sure that when you do your shape, that you take and you leave yourself a little bit of space in between, you know, the buttons. And then that way you can take these buttons that have shanks on them, like this one here, and I can lay that right on top of there, and it'll glue to it. All right. And I want to thank Lolly's Crafting Friends VIP, and where is my, for hosting and for y'all having me and hanging out with me. I'm Julie with Nothing Is Wasted Designs. Be sure and refresh your page, and you'll want to hang out and watch Joyce with Creations by J&J. She always has some fun stuff that and pretty stuff that she makes, so you'll want to see what she's going to do next. Y'all, thank you for joining us, and I hope if you're if you have any crafters in the comments who you're not following, one way that you can support them is to just hit the follow button by their name or go to their page and give them a follow. All right, y'all have a great night. Thanks for joining me, and if you're not following me, I'd appreciate it also if you'd follow me, and I'll look forward to seeing you the next time I work with Lolly and her crafting friends. All right. Love y'all. Jesus loves you more. All right. Bye-bye.